The man was getting ready to head to the beach to check out some beautiful women when, suddenly, a commercial airplane came rushing straight toward him. The terrifying scene left him frozen in place for a moment, and in a panic, he spun around and ran desperately toward the shore. At the same time, on the other side of the town, another bizarre scene was unfolding. The man's car suddenly lost its GPS signal, and in front of him appeared an airplane, spraying red liquid all over. The plane got closer and closer, and he could almost feel the pressure in the air. Just as he was about to spin out and flee, he realized that the red liquid was actually a shower of scattered flyers. At that moment, no one knew exactly what was happening. It wasn't until David finally returned to the villa that he was ready to reveal an astonishing secret to everyone. His job was to predict potential future disasters, and everything that was happening had already been foreseen by him. However, David never expected that even satellites in space had been damaged. As the tension continued to build, a deafening noise suddenly filled the room, so loud that the windows started to crack. Despite the excruciating pain in her ears, the woman pushed through and rushed outside. Her child was still out there. Just as the noise almost drove her to the brink of insanity, it abruptly stopped. Her child was unharmed, standing right in front of her. Back at the villa, the woman anxiously asked David, "What's going on?" But David didn't have an answer. He could only remain silent. The unknown fear sent the woman into deep thought. Just as she was at a loss, her husband returned to the villa, holding a red flyer in his hand. On it was a chilling image that no one could make sense of. It wasn't until their son mentioned a few key pieces of information that everyone seemed to suddenly realize the apocalypse was really coming. So, the woman and her family decided to head back to the city. Even if it meant facing death, they preferred to die in a familiar place. However, David warned them, going back will only be more dangerous. We haven't seen any rescue efforts so far. Maybe the government is already paralyzed. But the woman and her family insisted on going. When they set off, they were shocked to find the town completely empty. Just as they were wondering what had happened, a traffic jam appeared up ahead. The wife tried to get out of the car to ask what was going on, but when she approached, she was stunned to see nothing but Tesla Model 3s, and there wasn't a single driver in any of the cars. Her mind spun, and just as she was trying to make sense of it, another Model 3 drove toward them. The fully autonomous driving ad on the car made her suddenly realize what was happening. She ran back to the car in a panic, but before she could explain anything to her husband, a loud roar from an engine echoed in the distance. She turned around and saw a Model 3 speeding toward them. Although they managed to escape, the scene in the distance was enough to send chills down their spines. The terrifying disaster was rapidly spreading across the entire city, and now, the only hope seemed to lie in one place.